So I'm going to go ahead and get started. So first thing first, I wanted to make sure you guys are aware of all the fantastic things that you did in March, right? Yes, March. I have a hard time keeping track of months. So I just wanted to review your accomplishments really quick. March was a great month, and it tends to be a pretty good month. Just, it's a good time for growth in doTERRA, and that's it's cool to know when that is and to kind of know we're on par with those kinds of things. But I'm going to start with enrollments this last month in March. We actually, not March, we got really close, but in just the very first day of April, we crossed the line into 8,000 total team members. Which is incredible. It's kind of hard to even wrap my head around that. Gets to a point where you just hear a number and can't really fathom it. So, but you all are well on your way to that, and just keep planting those seeds, and it'll keep growing. It really does. Even though some months are slower than others, it's incredible. So, okay. So just talking about enrollments. Last month we had like crazy high numbers of enrollments, and some of you like enrolled crazy amounts of people too, like 3 and 4 and so on and so forth. 3 and 4 is huge for one month. 5, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people enrolled. 5 or more people, and I'm gonna, or just 5 people, I'm gonna list them off. Tracy House, Shelly Rogers, Chris Hightower, sorry, Alicia Latour, she doesn't have her name in back office, so I have to remember. Michelle Etzel and Lisa Smith all enrolled 5 people. That's fantastic. It's amazing. And then we have one person who enrolled 6, Elizabeth Todd, awesome work. And then we have 3 people who enrolled 7, Emily Mallard, fantastic. Oils for Life, which is Sue Blaylock, and Stephanie Martin, all enrolled 7. You guys rocked it. I am so excited. And these are not people who are brand new. Sometimes it feels like, oh, we can only enroll that many people when we first start out with doTERRA. And these people are not, they're clearly getting out of their warm market, because they've got some amazing enrollments for this month. And then we've got, or for March, 3 people had 8 enrollments. That's Reed Terrell, Kim Petrides, Wendy Burke. Very good. That's amazing. You guys are rocking it. And then one person had 9, Justin Blakely. Megan Smith had 10 enrollments. Joy Durham had 11, and Karen Painter had 13. So you guys, that's insane. Those crazy numbers are wonderful. Now, I don't necessarily think that you have to have that many enrollments to have a successful doTERRA business. It's great to build momentum and enroll that many people in one month, but really we want our people to be enrolling those people. So that's great, and we want to enroll 1 or 2 people every 3 months or so. I mean, it's good to have fresh people in our lineup all the time, but we can build a business successfully without doing that many at once. Let me mute everybody really quick. Sorry. Allow participant. Okay. Hopefully you can still hear me. Okay. But anyway, so that was a very exciting month. I mean, I wasn't expecting it to be such a high enrollment month, especially after February rocked it. And it was a great month, you guys. Amazing. And I hope you're using that to roll into April and get your classes on the schedule. These new people need to have classes, or need to come to more classes, or whatever the case may be. So, okay, so now I'm going to share the new rank advancements for March, of which there were also many. We had, let's hold on one second. Let's see, I'm going to start with executives. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 executives rank advance. I'm not going to list out all the directors, because there were, it's like maybe 15 to 20 of them, and even more managers. So lots of people starting out with their business. Very exciting. But we have Blake Miller, Chris Hightower, Lori Booth, Jared Church, John Barron, Wendy Burke, and Linda Witherow hit executive last month. That is fantastic. Some of them from consultants, some of them from director, some of them from managers. So really exciting moves forward. Megan Smith went from executive to elite. Ashley Collins went from consultant to elite. Fantastic. Alicia Cardin, director to elite. Lisa Smith, director to Elite. You guys are rocking it. It's very impressive. And then 2 new premieres I'm so excited about because hopefully these people enrolled somebody last month and were able to get that premiere bonus for the first time, which is really exciting. I know Matthew Wagner did, and I'm assuming that Cheryl did as well. But that's 2 new Elites, Matthew Wagner, Cheryl Rodriguez, both hit premiere last month. Fantastic. So exciting. Especially, like I said, because of that new rank bonus that people can qualify for. Okay, so then in terms of upcoming events, we've got a lot on the calendar. The main thing that I want to talk about is Elite Retreat. I am so excited about it. We have been working on the calendar or the schedule of events for that, and it's looking so good. We're going to cover topics like positivity. We're going to talk about mentoring and accountability. And the main objective of our Elite Retreat is going to be really coming up with a physical plan that you can take with you after Elite Retreat and put into action, even to start putting into action while we're at Elite Retreat. So there's going to be some homework assignments. There's going to be assignments to do while we're there. We're going to be getting things done. So it's not going to be, you're not going to leave with just ideas. You're going to hopefully leave with actual physical activities planned and maybe already in progress. So I'm super excited about that and think it's going to be such an amazing time. I can't wait to get up to the mountains and enjoy that as well. It should be a really nice time of year to be up there. But yeah, so Elite Retreat is super exciting. If you guys have any questions about that, I'll open it up at the end, and I'll be happy to answer questions about that. Some other things we have coming up on the calendar. Tomorrow night, we're doing a make and take at HQ. We're going to make reed diffusers. So I'm excited about that. It's just a little craft. It's fun to do, simple, easy. But I'll have all the materials there. It'll be, I think, $6 for one, and then $5 if you wanted to do 3 or more. So come and enjoy. That's fun. What else is coming up? Monday night of next week, it's maternity and early childhood with essential oils. And then is it animals the week after, Drew? And the date, what's the date the week after? I can't keep track of the date anymore. But the Thursday next week will be animals and essential oils. So I'm excited about that. We also have some exciting things already looking out towards convention. If you got your convention ticket, that's awesome. If you haven't, they are sold out. They'll probably be more available as time goes on. People will sell what they have. They might open up more spots, that kind of thing. But if you don't have convention on your radar, go ahead and start planning on convention. It is a game changer. It is so inspiring to connect with the company that way. We meet farmers. We get to know the oils that are new first and new products first. It's so exciting. There's just so much stuff going on there that is a real thrill. Plus being with our team. And I'm actually working on helping the other diamonds in, I think Natalie Wasaki, who is a presidential diamond, is sort of the mother hen, and all the diamonds under her are working together to plan an amazing team party. And I am already really looking forward to that. It sounds like it's going to be amazing. So yeah, just a lot of excitement and a lot of movement on our team. And I just feel this new freshness, and doTERRA is growing like crazy. Recently, we were number 1 in a list of 25 different multi-level marketing companies. And the guy said it really well. He said that we were poised for exponential growth. And I think that's totally true. And I hope that you all are kind of jumping in and taking advantage of that. I can feel it. I can feel that momentum growing. And we already have experienced that a little bit in these last couple of months. So very exciting. Okay, so now I'm going to shift into sharing just some tidbits that I've learned and some ideas that I've learned about doing promotions within your team to encourage growth. And I hope that you feel this is relevant. I felt it was relevant. I feel like it's one of those things where it sounds good in theory, but it's hard to come up with a solid idea. So I'm going to share some of the ones that I've seen, some of the ones that I've done. And if you guys have any questions, just unmute yourself and interrupt me. You can use the raise your hand feature too, but hold on. I'm going to see if I can figure out how to. Look at my notes and be able to see you guys at the same time, so that I can see if you raise your hand and want to add something. And you may all have some really great ideas. So hoping when I open it up to conversation at the end or even in between that you share those ideas, because that's where the magic happens when you brainstorming with people. Okay. All right, so promotion ideas. And again, this is something that you want to use to your benefit to grow your business. There's lots of different options and different ways you can do it. And I'm going to try to break it down into specific kind of categories. But first and foremost, I don't want anyone to go broke on doing these kind of things. I don't think that anyone should invest more than they have. Really, one of the glories of doTERRA is that you can build this business without going into debt. So of course you can invest money back in, and a lot of the money that you make along the road will probably go back into your business to help it grow. But you don't want to, first of all, set an example of what it looks like to have very elaborate gifts that your downline can't duplicate. But also you don't want to go broke. I mean, you really want to make sure that these will benefit you in the long run. And I'll start with one of the simple ones, is for people who will host a class for you. I know that there's a lot of people who will do a diffuser if somebody hosts a class. I really feel like you need to have stipulations on that. In other network marketing companies, they offer a long list of incentive kind of gifts that if you do that much in sales, you get this freebie. And I think you can operate it like that. And you can come up with your own list of things, what those are going to be. It could be, if you have 500 OV in sales, you're going to get 20, or I don't know, what's the 20% of $500? I should have come up with an easier number. Not that good at math on the fly. But maybe you're going to give them $60 in products of their choice, or $30 in cash, or whatever it's going to be, and take that out of your earnings. Know you're going to earn enough to cover that. And potentially, if they're just going to enroll the people themselves, they'll earn the cash just by enrolling the people themselves. And that's a really great way to roll. But having that diffuser as an incentive is a great idea. You can use the pedal diffuser. I think it's a great one. You can find less expensive diffusers in bulk and quantity, and use those. But I still always make a stipulation that they have at least 5 people who are qualified at the class. Because first of all, it helps them plan ahead. When they plan ahead and when they know what they're working towards, if they really want that diffuser, they know they have to get people that are legitimate at their class. They can't just fill seats with their daughter's friends from high school. You know what I mean? So you want to do that. And then also maybe base it on volume, and then 500 OV, or maybe 2 enrollments, or whatever it's going to be. So having stipulations on these things, people know to expect that. So don't feel like you're being stingy. That's just a way of, making the most out of what you're doing. So that's a simple thing. And getting even simpler, something that I would do in the beginning is I would just have a roller bottle that I would make at the class. For most hostesses, we're satisfied with that. Or maybe make a few things ahead of time, like a sugar scrub or bath salts or something, to give her in front of everyone and say, and for hostessing, I'm doing this special and she gets to keep this stuff, and I'd love to give this to you too. Let's plan a date tonight, or whatever you're going to do. So those are just a few ideas of getting somebody to host. Now, once you have a team established, once you start enrolling people, then the incentives grow. You need more ideas to help grow in different ways. So the first category I'm going to talk about is building volume. And it's not volume anywhere specifically necessarily, unless, you could cater it to one leg where you need to grow volume to reach rank or whatever. But this volume idea is simple. So if they do, and this is actually happening in our usage group right now, if they do an LRP before the 15th of 200 PV, because it correlates with the Deep Blue special, then they are entered into a drawing, a raffle. And that's super simple, super easy. I do bigger prizes now because I can, but it used to be I would do much smaller prizes, or much like, one cheer oil, or something maybe that you got with the BOGOs that you got free, would be a good option. Or, just whatever you have on hand. Look at what you have and make the most of it. Or you could offer a freebie with any 200 PV offer. And I did this. I remember the month I hit silver, I did this. I offered a free keychain to anyone who ordered over 200 PV. on one team specifically where I needed that volume to be, or maybe it was on two, but either way, like 4 people went for it and, do the math. It's a $6.99 keychain. But the fact of the matter was it was December. So frankincense was free that month anyway. So they wanted that added frankincense, and the keychain was just enough to push them over to do it. Roller bottles might be a good option, like a set of, maybe 6 to 10, 12 roller bottles maybe. And there's some like prettier roller bottles with like gold tops on them. That might be a fun one. Some kind of accessories that really encourage people to use their oils is good. There are some great diffuser necklaces out there that are very inexpensive, that look a lot like the stainless steel ones that are diffuser mama ones, but oh shoot, the name of the website is called I'll think of it, I think, before we go, but they're like $3 and they look really nice, and you can do them as an enrollment incentive. You can do them as a, building a volume incentive. You can use them like crazy, and they're just such really nice looking, and a special thing to offer people. They get excited about that. Plus, that people, once they have these things, are going to continue to use their oil. So it'll pay it forward for you as well. So contests in your usage group could be like something simple where they just have to comment on a post. And it's really just to kind of spur conversation and get them thinking and engaged, and get different ideas about oil usage. You could be something simple like talking about, oils for hair care or something, and the freebie, if they talk about stuff or give a tip or ask a question in that thread, is you're doing a free bottle of Clary Sage or something like that. So these are just some fun ways to get people involved in groups like that. Okay, so next I'm going to talk about enrollments. Enrollment specials, incentives that you can offer. So I just recently saw this in one of the groups that I'm in, and they were offering a 3-6-9 deal. So they had a prize for people who order 3 or who enroll 3 people in a month. They had a prize for people who enroll 6 people in that month, and they had a prize for people who enroll 9 people. And those prizes can be whatever. I mean, you can staircase those to be as big or as little as you want them to be. For me, I have specific legs where if somebody enrolls 9 people, it's going to be massive and good for my team. So not only is it going to build momentum for that person to have enrolled that many people that month, but it's going to be helpful for their rank and my rank and everyone in between. So the prize that I'm offering in that particular case, and this works too if if you're offering it to your personal enrollment, for example, and they have to enroll 9 people with 100 PV or more, I know I'm going to get 10% on that because, fast start. So that 10% is going to cover whatever that incentive might be, or it potentially should if you want it to. I mean, you can go crazy, but again, trying to be reasonable. So that fast start, that 10%, it really should cover it. And sometimes it won't, but again, that rank advancement will make it worth it potentially. So the example that I've got is we're doing an aroma touch diffused for some people if they did a 9 enrollment. So that's a pretty big gift, and definitely an incentive to get people to want to really push and do that for their business, to just kind of, maybe sometimes people need a little push to get uncomfortable more than they would otherwise. So that's a good idea. I like that 3-6-9. Okay. And the 6, it could be something else. It could be like just another oil, something that you have on hand, and then 3, again, something you just have, and kind of staircase those in terms of value. Special incentives for your personal potential enrollments, to go ahead and get enrolled. Any given month, maybe you're trying to enroll 9 people in one month, and that's your personal goal, or you're trying to win a contest, or you're trying to hit a rank or whatever, and you need some enrollments. Then offering something individualized to those people is key. This is something that you would not post on Facebook. You wouldn't post it in a public place. You would share it specifically with one group of people that you are working with already. It's actually against compliance to share these in a way that, like on social media or whatever, because people they'll enroll with you even though they've been working with someone else just to get a free bottle of, Melaleuca or whatever it is. So you need to be careful with that. But if you want to offer an incentive, some people offer books. I like to save the book for another special or another offer that we do. But, maybe if you found a good deal on diffusers, that would be something that would be easy to give. Or maybe you have put together a little set that helps people get started, of roller bottles and sample bottles, and fractionated coconut oil would be a good thing to give as a enrollment gift. So those are just some ideas there, and they can be very, very helpful. Sometimes you can just say, I wouldn't say, oh, I do this all the time. I would say, if you're working with someone, I have a special offer in April. You really want to plant that seed of urgency, because if people feel like they can get it any time, it's not going to really be an incentive to move fast. So okay, some other specials. So we do have kind of an enrollment gift bag that we give to all our enrollments, and that's something a really good thing to do. And it's something that after people enroll, we can call them up and say, hey, we have this special gift, these little gifts for you, some freebies that we want to get together with you and do your membership overview and bring you and answer any questions you might have. And so that's a really good way to kind of make sure they want to do that membership overview. And at that membership overview is where you help them set up back office and potentially set up an LRP. And if they do set an LRP up, you can have a book there, Modern Essentials, Essential Life, and say, hey, if we set up your LRP today and you process that this month, then of 100 or more, then I'm going to give you this book for free. Which of course is a good thing for them to have. And they are probably going to want to have it, especially if you spend time with them at a membership overview, reviewing it. So anyway, okay. I'm going to check to make sure there's no hands raised at this point. No, I see lots of familiar faces. Man, I'm excited to have you guys all here. Phone numbers. Unfortunately, I don't know who you are, but I'm glad you're here too. Okay, so getting back to it, the next is trainings. So this is something that you would offer in your builders, maybe on your builders Facebook page or something like that. And it would be something like, watch this video and be entered to win such and such, or listen to this webinar and be entered to win such and such. Or it could be something more elaborate, like, for anybody on my team who does the launch group and completes it, I'm gonna give you this. Or the circle mentoring groups, I forget what they're called right now, that Tanya and Melissa are just about to post or start. If you do this and complete this, I will give you this, like something like that is a good idea. And, it just offers a little bit. Again, it's like using the oils. If I find a podcast that's super great, it could be 15 minutes, but I just want people to listen to it. So you can encourage that by just offering a little incentive. And it could be something simple, like, some of the things we've already talked about. Even honestly, a free book. A lot of times people are excited even further down the line in free books, or maybe free tear sheets, or something that's going to help them build their business. But is also an investment into your business. Okay, rank advancements. So you want people to, maybe they're on the brink of hitting a rank and they're just not quite getting there, and you really want to inspire them to get there and push for it. You can offer certain incentives to them if they can do that. Let me see, what did I have written down here? So it can be very specific to that person individually. There's one example where one month, I don't even remember what it was, but I told Chasey if she did it, then I would give her a bag. We sometimes sell really nice, locally grown, organic chicken feed. And so she had chickens at the time and needed chicken feed. And I said, well, if you do this, then I will give you a bag of chicken feed. So totally random, but she went for it, so it's just, work with the person that you have. And I'm so glad she did. Not that she couldn't afford the chicken feed, but it's been a fun story to tell ever since. Also, prizes upon a completion of certain trainings. Sorry, that should have been on the last thing. Okay, so then rank, some other things, like when your personal enrollments hit certain ranks, you might want to come up with a plan of things that you always give out. So our examples are, we like to give a card, maybe an oil for new executives. We like to give a book to our personally enrolled elites. And then anyone on our team that hits Premier, we send a bottle, a doTERRA bottle, or now an oildorks bottle, a t-shirt for silvers, diffuser jewelry for people who get to gold. And that's, we love it. It's beautiful, handmade. There's a necklace and a bracelet, and we really like those a lot. And then, and I wear mine all the time. So I think people like them. They say they do. And then for platinum, I've tried to make that a little bit individualized, but I think I am going to come up with a more solid plan, just so that I'm not scrambling and I can send it to them in a reasonable amount of time. But you know, that is something that you can do for your whole team, and then you can have separate ones just for your your personally enrolled people who hit certain ranks. So those are just fun. And I know, like, for example, I'm pretty sure she's still doing it. Casey Vaudry has been sending for a couple of years now a family physician kit to anyone who hits silver. So that's a huge gift, and very exciting when people get that. They're so excited. And some people are motivated knowing that that's coming. So, okay. So first time LRP people. So this is a personal enrollment. I really like to do, like I said, if they do 100, to give them a book, if they do that in their first month, during that fast start period. But you could reach out to people on your team who don't have an LRP and say, you know, if you do an LRP of 50 PV or 100 PV or 125, whatever it's going to be, 150 would be a good number, you know, and then offer that for their first time they set up that LRP. So that's something, when people set up that loyalty reward, sometimes it's just a pain. They're like, I just don't understand, and I don't want to do it. And, you know, I feel like figuring it out. So that just kind of gets them that motivation to make it happen. So, okay. Blitzes are a really great way to build momentum in your team. And you can offer special incentives, like if they're the winner of the Blitz and they book the most classes, they will win whatever that prize is going to be that you're going to set. So booking classes is something you can do in a Blitz. Like, we've done text Blitzes before as a team. And you kind of set aside a couple hours where you all are working on that same project at the same time. And that's fun. And you come up with some scripts maybe, and there's lots available. So if you want information on that, I can help you find that. But blitzes can be very, very successful. I've known people to get together and have these blitzes. It's almost like, if you think about, I don't know, I've seen scenes of people in, political offices when they're trying to convince people to vote for them. There's a word I'm looking for and I can't think of what it is, but campaigning basically. And they call and they all sit together and campaign and try to get, different people to sign up. And you can do that in a setting like that. And that can be kind of fun, where you just sit there all in a room together and you have a whiteboard and draw things on the whiteboard. And as soon as somebody gets something, they throw it up there, that kind of thing. Or maybe the Blitz could be about follow-up calls, or maybe the Blitz could be just inviting people, having classes on the schedule, and you get together. Maybe you're doing the classes together, maybe you're not, maybe everybody's doing it individually, but you spend that couple of hours calling and inviting everyone on your list. So that's a really fun thing to do. And again, you can incentivize that with prizes. Okay, personal invites, or personal enrollments, I think that means to say. So like, if you're, if you have a personal enrollment, something that we like to tell our personal enrollments is that if they decide to enroll someone, most people now start with a wholesale customer account. If they decide to enroll someone, or if they even refer someone to us that enrolls, we have this such and such free oil. And, I feel like Roman chamomile is a really nice one, but you could do something different. You could do, maybe balance or citrus bliss or something like that. And just say, when you enroll someone, we have this free oil for you. And that could be something that you follow up with them a few weeks after they enroll, just so they know, and that's kind of out there in their mind. A free diffuser if they host a class. Of course, that's something that we've already talked about a little bit, but something, your personal invites, they may not be interested in building, but they have a network of friends and family. And if they're using the oils, they're going to be a great person to have a class for you, because they're going to, already be enthusiastic about the products. And that's huge. So you don't necessarily only have classes with people who are builders. You want to have classes with people who will bring people in and be excited about the oil. So, and there are other things that you can offer them, obviously, to encourage them to have a class for you. And then just I wanted to draw your attention back, if you weren't a part of doTERRA at the time, but this December we had a We Miss You special, which was fantastic. And doTERRA actually basically just gave us oils to incentivize people who hadn't been using oils for a while. So if they hadn't ordered in the last 6 months and they set up an LRP, they could get a free bottle of On Guard. And if they had, I forget, if they just ordered it all, they could get a bottle of Breathe, I think. So if they did 100 LRP, they would get the Breathe and the On Guard. It was a really, really great special. And you could replicate that. It maybe isn't going to be Breathe and On Guard, but it could be something else. And if you just reach out to specific people, you know, maybe it is going to be Breathe and On Guard, but you're just going to tell 3 people about that offer because you really want to get them re-involved, or they're maybe in the right place on your power of 3 or something like that. So just some things to think about. And then lastly, I wanted to talk about customer appreciation events that are a really fun way to re-engage people or to keep your new members engaged. And you can do something like make roller bottles or room sprays, and or maybe do, like, since summer is coming up, make you know, an after sun spray or something, and keep it simple. You know, when you really count the materials that it takes to make something like that, it might come to like $3, $3 to $4, and it's totally worth it if you get somebody re-engaged and excited about the oils, and plus they have a chance to come and see how simple it is to put these products to work. And you can do something fun like maybe bingo night, or we did a mystery shopper event, and that was super fun. So you basically just have raffle tickets, and people do certain things and they get raffle tickets, and then if they have raffle tickets, you might have some things out that people can purchase with those raffle tickets at the end. So that's a really fun way to operate a customer appreciation event. Just make it a fun kind of game-like environment, and give them a night out. You know, maybe you want to make essential oil cocktails, very fun. Or maybe an essential oil potluck kind of thing. So you have a lot of options and really fun ways to incorporate. Oh yeah, Karen Painter, she's the expert. Good job, Karen, on cocktails. Maybe she'll even perk up after I'm almost finished and share some of her ideas, because I know she's good at all of this stuff. But then lastly, I just wanted to say, you know, we have the best way always is to communicate by phone or directly with person. But a lot of times I think with these promos, it's really good to have a visual aid for people, because you may say something like free blah, 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 aroma, like even if you said free aroma touch diffuse kit if you enroll 9 people, like that just doesn't resonate as much as seeing a picture of all of those oils in a diffuser, or you know, whatever it's going to be. Making some kind of visual impression is going to have a huge influence on whether people are interested or not. So one simple program, if you don't know about it already, is Canva. Canva.com is free and it's great. It's fantastic. If you are familiar with Photoshop, it's 1,000 times easier than Photoshop. I'm a self-trained Photoshop expert, and I spent hours and hours and hours and hours and hours learning how to do what I can do in Canva for literally in 20 seconds. I mean, it's insane. So Canva is super helpful program to get familiar with, and it's free. So you can't really beat that. And it's very user-friendly. You don't have to be a super internet guru kind of person to be able to manage it. So I do really like that a lot. And it's a great way to promote these different things that you come up with for your team. And of course, you know, like I said, we use texting a lot to reach out to people, make sure that they see things, but yeah, it's up to you, I guess, how you are communicating, but yeah. Okay, well, that's it. I hope that was helpful. Does anybody have any questions? Comments? If you have other ideas, please share them. I see a lot of seasoned builders in here that have probably done some really successful things. Karen, come on. I see you there. I see Chris Miller too. You have to unmute yourself if you're going to speak. Hello? Are you there? Karen? Karen? You've unmuted yourself, but I can't hear you. I can't hear you. No. Boo. I hear
Is that better?
Oh, there you are.
Oh. Okay, it must have been an earbud thing. We actually did a really great customer event in November. Yeah, I think we did it in November as kind of like a pre-Christmas kind of customer event.
That's a good time for it. Yeah.
It was, and we actually pre-made roller balls, just a simple, like a wake-up one. So it was just peppermint and wild orange. So that was a really cheap roller ball to make, and we gave, but there was a stipulation. To come to the event, you had to have placed a 100 LRP order that month. So they came, it was held at the end of the month, and we had it at lunchtime. So we made like chili and salad or something very basic.
Nice.
And you had to have placed 100 LRP. We had people that came that hadn't placed their order, and they literally stood in my kitchen and placed their 100 LRP order so they could come.
That's awesome. Oh my goodness.
It was great. So we gave them a roller ball, and then we also made like a carpet kind of sprinkle, which was also cheap because it was just baking soda and lemon. And we mixed like big batches of it together, and we put them in these little glass jars that have, like you see at a pizza place, that you like sprinkle the cheese out of. So we put them in those. Yes. So they each got those just for coming and being a part of it. And
did they know what they were getting ahead of time, or how did you get them to the thing? Like, how did you make them aware of what was happening?
So early in the month, we mailed out postcards that we made on Vistaprint, and it said that they were going to get a roller ball and some other surprise or something like that. Like we weren't very specific about what the second. And then we said there will also be like raffles for prizes. Okay. So I had some stuff from convention that I hadn't used that I bought at the swag store, which was very popular.
Yes.
And you know, just like oils that we had gotten on free for LRP, and you know, it was like an extra oil that we hadn't used. And I had some empty doTERRA keychains. And so we just did fun stuff like that too, where, you know, I think you got an extra ticket if you brought a friend.
Yes.
As well. And we had somebody enroll at that event as well.
Nice.
Because they came and they had like a mini class in my living room with somebody else that was a builder. And so it was a great event. We're actually trying to plan to do it again in May as like a pre-summer kind of.
That's a good idea. I think that's good timing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's every 6 months kind of thing.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. So we're thinking, I'm trying to get it planned before I get back from spring break, because it takes time to like get the postcard out. They have to have enough notice to place the LRP and do all of that stuff. So, and then I try to do cocktails and oils at my house once a month. It's mainly for my currently enrolled people. And here's what I find is amazing about it. Somebody comes and they talk about an oil that they're using, and the person sitting across from them is hearing oil information that's not from me. So it adds a layer of like believability almost.
Right. Validity. Yeah. Definitely.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And they go, oh, well, I didn't know that, you know, about that oil. I need to add that to my LRP.
Right. Favorite words.
Right. So that has been good. I mean, I've had people enroll at cocktails and oils because somebody brought them. And I've had people come and just hang out and then decide like 2 months later they want to enroll. So
that's really fun.
It's not.
And so tell us, like out of your cocktails, is it really fancy, or are you just making cocktails, or does everybody bring stuff, or how does that work?
Sometimes people bring things, but it's not something I ask them to do. They just decide to do it. Literally, I go to Trader Joe's and buy like hummus and something that's like a little, I don't know, like I went to Trader Joe's yesterday and bought like 3 things, and that's the food we're having because I don't have it till 7. So most people will have eaten
dinner, sure.
And then like they had sparkling lemonade. So I bought the sparkling lemonade so we could add like lemon essential oil to it, or grapefruit, or whatever. Lavender was one of the other options that I just saw I don't know, on a doTERRA blog post the other day or something. So, but I might get fancy and have the On Guard apples.
They take 20 minutes to cut apples.
Right.
I love those. Those are good. People always love those.
They're so good. And until you have them, you have no idea how good they really are.
I know. You're like, how is this that simple and so delicious? Yeah. Really good.
So I think I'm going to do those.
That's a good idea.
It is a really good idea. So
my favorite is always goat cheese with wild orange and honey, because in 5 minutes time, I have this luxurious snack that everybody's like, oh my gosh, this is so good. And it's like, goat cheese, how fancy. But I mean, you could do it with cream cheese too, and it would be just as good, but it's so easy. And you could put fruit or crackers or vegetables. Right. I mean, really whatever you want to dip in that is good. So,
well, one of my new builders had a class, and she made lavender cupcakes with a lemon cream cheese icing that had lemon essential oil in it. Yeah. They were amazing. And she said she got it off the doTERRA blog.
Really? Yeah.
So I was like, oh my gosh.
Well, I used to make meringues for all my classes, and that is one of my favorite things to do, is to add oils to meringues, but they're not the easiest things to make. They kind of, sometimes they don't work. So
yeah.
Anyway, cool. Those are great.
Yeah. It's all been good.
Love it. Okay, good. You're gonna have to share some of your cocktail recipes with us, though.
Oh yeah, I can post those. I actually took pictures of them, and sometimes I use them as the header of like the Facebook invite. So I can post like the little pictures, and it has like the recipe and everything on it. I think I borrowed them from Pinterest.
No, I don't care. As long as you go digging, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Karen. Anybody else have anything? Chris Mallard, are you really there? Do you have any ideas?
Yes, I really am here.
You really are there. Yay!
Nothing coming off the top of my head right now. I mean, many of the ideas you already shared earlier.
Right, yeah. I tried to make it a cohesive list. Okay, cool. All right. Well, that is all for tonight, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I hope that you found this useful. And I hope that you got some ideas about moving forward. You know, you really could use these incentives with 2 people or with, 200 people. It just depends on what your team looks like and what you want to see happen. So, just be a little strategic that way, and really think about, how to basically maximize those free oils you're getting and free products you're getting from doTERRA, because you could use them yourself or you could leverage them to build your business. All right, everybody, have a great night. Once again, you awe me, shock and awe me, and I'm so proud to have anything to do with what you guys are doing. So thank you. Good night.